Nope, did it all by itself.
Okay, then. I'll wait one more minute, according to my time.
Yep.
Considering I got 2 different clocks going.
Come in, join. Please pull out a mobile device and hook up to one of the networks because there's no cellular service in here. Because since this is a gamification presentation, there will be games for you to play as we go along.
Yes. Will be games.
Yeah, if you're not a GCC employee, GCC Public is the easiest thing to connect to in here, rather than waiting for them to send you an email to fill out a bunch of information to connect to any other network.
All right. Well, TikTok. Time to go.
Here we go.
Good afternoon. I had to think about that. Good afternoon. Welcome to Gamify your classes and your lessons. We are going to use a bunch of different tools today. I have actually had this presentation all done. Then I looked at it and said, nope, not going to do it that way, and redid the entire thing. So I hope that you enjoy it. We're going to talk about some different ways to add pieces of gamification to your courses, not thinking necessarily about gamifying an entire course, because that would be a little overwhelming.
Paige, introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah. I just figured everybody knew who I was. There you go. It's the world I live in. My name is Paige Durham. I am the senior instructional designer at Germana. And thank you all for coming today. And my co-presenter, who is running the show there in front of you, is, and I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm Terry Milroy. I'm the curriculum developer for workforce programs here at Germana, and we are excited to have you. And we will actually be the 2 of us in this room all day. So if you enjoy yourselves, you can stick around. If not, feel free to wander after this presentation. But Paige, take it away.
All right. So I'm going to give you a copy of the slides at the end. There will be another QR code, but let's see what if. What if your course could be engaging as a game, and why? It increases student engagement and participation. Why? Because games are fun. Gamification leads to a more interactive, engaging learning experience simply by adding a few game elements to anything. Because of that, the students become more involved in the learning activities and they show greater interest and participation. It also enhances motivation and achievement. Gamification boosts student motivation by incorporating elements of competition, but reward. Students are also more likely to achieve and set learning goals in a gamified environment. It also improves retention and understanding. The interactive nature of gamified courses just intuitively leads to better retention of information that is being delivered through the gamified elements. Gamification can simplify complex concepts, making them easier to understand and remember. Teamwork and collaboration. Most people don't think about games necessarily as being teamwork and collaboration, but that is exactly what they can be. Many activities require the students in gamification to work in teams, as well as collaborating where their skills to improve their score. This teamwork helps to lead to a deeper understanding of the subject matter, but it also builds a sense of community. As far as the other things that it can do, attendance rates and course completion rates. Gamification can make online courses more appealing, leading to better attendance and completion. Engaging game elements motivate students to regularly participate and complete the activities or the coursework. It also fosters continuous learning and improvement. Gamification encourages continuous learning because students want to improve their skills and their knowledge to do better in the game elements. The feedback and progression systems in gamification provide ongoing motivation and self-improvement. So it's also adaptable to various learning styles. So it could be visual learners, it can be oral learners, verbal, or kinesthetic. And we don't use learning styles anymore, so this slide should say preferences, but it's still the same idea. Everybody has something that they are prefer when they are learning. And the chart is the number one is, of course, visual, oral, verbal, and kinesthetic. Real world application and skills development. So gamified scenarios can help simulate real world challenges, and you can make them happen in many different ways. Skills like problem solving and critical thinking, decision making are often enhanced through gamified learning. It also enhances digital literacy and tech skills. And all of this is going with the idea of how can we use generative AI to help us do all of these things. It can help support personalized learning, as well as challenges and feedback and progress tracking, and it gives students choice and autonomy. So now it's time for a little fun. So I'm going to ask you to go to the following, just 1 second. My computer shut down earlier today, so it's really giving me fits right now. You're going to open your browser on your phone, and you are going to go to Slido, SLIDO.com. Or you can scan the following QR code.
Yeah, so
There we
if you
go.
go to Slido, there is the join code.
And there is a join code if you want to join, which I hope you do. If you haven't used Slido before, and this is your first experience, welcome to some interactive fun. All right, I am going to activate the quiz, and it is a live quiz. So please feel free to start. And I see some names popping up. Yes, please do, because there's going to be a leaderboard at the end.
All right, everybody ready? Okay, Paige.
All right. What do you think are the 10 key principles of gamification? Hint, they're embedded in that image somewhere.
It says voting closed. It says voting closed. Yeah. It closed before we could get in.
Did you hear?
No, I can't hear.
They said it says voting closed. Nobody can vote.
Oh,
I wondered because I think that.
okay, try again.
All right, there we go. Yeah, there's only 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's only 20 seconds. I'm sorry. And time's up. There we go. All right. So feedback, challenges, rewards, progression, engagement. The correct answers. I'm not going to tell you. All right. Why is this? All right. So there you go. There's your leaderboard. Oh, whoa, where'd it go? Darn it.
We saw the leaderboard.
Yeah, I don't know where it went away. Okay. So again, my computer is not happy with me right now. All right. So that is Slido. Slido can be used as a quiz so that you could see it as a leaderboard. It can be used for polling. There are many different options as far as what you have available to you through Slido. You can use it to make word clouds. You can have, again, that was literally a quiz. You can also do multiple choice. You can do surveys. You can do ratings. So you have all of those options available to you when using Slido. So now I'm going to ask you to go back to your browser. And now this time I'm going to ask you to look at a website called joinmyquiz.com. And the join code is 9912 7295.
It's up on the screen.
You should see something where it's going to ask you to enter your name. And you can also turn the sound effects and the music off if you want on your phones, if they're not on silent. That's totally up to you. You can leave the music on if you so choose.
Everybody good? Okay, Paige, go ahead. We're good. Go.
It's working on it.
Oh, sorry. Your dock really is broken.
Yeah. Let me try something else. It's just not letting me do whatever I need it to.
Our computer docking stations are notoriously finicky.
This is really a computer issue and not anything else. Okay, you should have at the top of your screen a button that says Start Game. If you do, go ahead and click on that. So you should be answering the questions, and as you do, you should see your leaderboard show up as well. It's giving me a different code today. So at the end of every thing that you do in quizzes, you have the ability to, and once this is all done, I can show you the dashboard for what it looks like on the instructor side. There's also a few tools that I want to go over while we're looking at quizzes, which is not going to let me get out of here. Where's it? Yes. So in the dashboard, so this is where you build your quizzes. Notice that there are a couple things that you can see. You can start a live quiz. You can also assign it asynchronously, so that students, you can embed this within Canvas. You can put the link in there. You can do it live in class. These are basic, just very simple game elements. The gaming piece of it is the fact that there is a leaderboard that's automatically included within it, so you don't have to do that yourself. It just depends upon what it is you're trying to do. So if I wanted to do this as a different kind of activity, so I'm going to look at, I'm going to start this live quiz, and I will click continue. And this quiz will actually be live. So again, you're still in quizzes, so you just need to now go back and join using the different code, which is 811443. And I don't know that you can hear that, but there are definitely people joining at this point. All right. Terry, let me know when we good?
Are we all good, guys? Yep, we're good to go.
Okay. All right. So now you should get ready on your screens.
Okay, we see your leaderboard.
Yes. So if you notice, as things are being answered, there's a progress bar at the top, and you can also see a leaderboard. You also have the option to use a power up to help improve your score. It's also telling me what the class accuracy is as people are submitting. And our class accuracy is going down. So you can also look at it, and since it was only one single question, you can see here about it took about 50 seconds to complete the question, but it also tells me that there generally most people, or the number of students, 11 correct and 1 incorrect. There are, like I said, there are power-ups that I have available to me that change. You can add a 2x, which is a score for a single question, or you could actually glitch the player's screen for 10 seconds just to give them a little frustration factor. So you can see that this is another way, just very simple, add in a quiz that you can do live. So you could do one, you could have it asynchronously, and you could have it just on its own. And again, all of this can go right into Canvas without any problems. Now, I'm going to go back to the dashboard for quizzes. Oh, as soon as we give everybody a crown. I apologize. I was going to jump ahead and not give you your crown. So again, you can see very easily who did really well. It also gives you the mastery party of all the people who got 100%. And then it's going to skip to the results as far as you can see what everybody did. And then you can go back to the dashboard and you can see every single thing that is related to the quiz that you gave. Also, there's some new AI functionality that allows you to build quizzes based on a few other things. And I want to show you that as well. If I want to build a new quiz, you just simply click on Create. And you have options here. So by the way, I have the premium version. So yes, I pay for this. So you can generate text from a prompt. You can upload any document that is a PDF, a Word doc, or a PowerPoint. You can also convert any YouTube video or Wikipedia page or any other web page into quizzes without having to do anything other than either upload the PDF or the PowerPoint, or simply just type in a prompt based on whatever you want to. So if I click generate from text, I can ask it to it asks you to pick the grade, the subject, the number of questions. I'm just going to go with 5, and then you could click generate. Now, if you have a YouTube video, again, you put the link in, it's going to ask you the same thing. And it will create the quiz for you. It's going to let you see the preview of whatever it is. I couldn't have typed any of that. I couldn't have typed it that fast. If you like it, you can click continue. If you don't, you can ask it to start again. Once you get to this screen, you have the ability to enhance with AI each question. You can also modify the quiz, fix grammatical errors, add similar questions, or translate. And you have the following languages that will translate the quiz into. You can differentiate the quiz by converting it to real world scenarios. You can reduce the number of options so that students are surely to pick the right answer. You can also add answer explanations. The other thing you can do with the quizzes AI is you can add a theme, you can add student names, you can make all questions fun, and you can also create a custom prompt. So if I want to create a custom prompt, I would say something like, please make all these questions in the voice of Yoda. And then click it. You could pick anyone, Shakespeare, just any famous person. And now it is changed to the questions, and they all now sound like Yoda. What is the primary purpose of incorporating point system into an online course? Influence student behavior in an online course. How do leaderboards typically? Because Yoda's words are never in the same order. So you can see where you could take this and you can have a lot of fun with it. Again, the idea is to get the students involved in this by making it a little more fun. Again, you could use any kind of voice that you want to by using it's asking, so you can also add the student, if you wanted to put the students' names into the questions, they could do that so that when they typed in their name in the game, it would actually put their name in the question. Again, you have lots and lots of options as far as creating a custom prompt. So that's if you want to do the whole quiz, but each individual question also has the same options. You can translate it, you can add an explanation, you convert it, you can fix grammatical errors, or you can customize it with your own personal prompt. So, talked a lot. I'm going to go back over here. Well, yeah, here we go. So earlier I asked you the key principles of, there we go, the key principles of gamification. The answers were competition, because it encourages learners. Everybody has a competitive part of them, no matter what. Even if it's playing Candy Crush, trying to get to the next level, that is a piece of competition. And using competition in a positive way really helps students to become engaged. Offering rewards. Those rewards can be simple as a 3 stars or the little crown that you got in quizzes. Engagement. Keeping students engaged through active participation in topics that sometimes are difficult is a great way to make sure that they understand whatever you're trying to get them to understand. Storytelling, using any kind of narrative element to make whatever it is you're doing relatable. I have to scroll down. So we have leaderboards. Again, it was a very simple thing. You didn't have to create it. It was automatically created for you. Point system, again, just assigning points and giving, you know, in the Slido. That was easy enough to see who did really well. Feedback, it's instant feedback that you don't have to give because it comes right after they have answered. Challenges, you can always make things more challenging by using different gaming elements and basing it on their skill level and thinking this is like an advanced thing if you wanted to add, as well as progression. So starting at a specific point and then moving through that progression allows students to see their progress on things. And I'm going to show you, it's very simple. Sometimes it's simply the idea of adding a progress bar at the bottom of a page or into the modules, which you can do with the City Labs. And then badges. And you have Badger that's built into Canvas that you can build your own badges and add them into your course so that students earn those badges when they complete a module. So gamification tools. I've shown you a few, but now, again, I would like for you to, we're going to go through this together. So let me back out of this one. And this is what what that quiz is calls a lesson. And I'm getting there. New share. Now you can hopefully see where to join. The code is 138886. And if you give me 1 second, I need to send some flight info.
Yes. And yes, there will be time for questions. Paige, don't forget, we have to stop at 20 till for questions.
Got it. Okay. Got it. All right. So now I'm going to start this. So you can see that it looks just like a PowerPoint slide. And so this is something you may be familiar with it. I don't know. Let's see if you can identify what gamification tool this screen is showing. Sorry about that. Try to get rid of the sound.
10 seconds.
And you have options to how you want to view this. And time's up. The answer is, oh no, the answer is, it was Kahoot. So Kahoot is another tool that you can use for the purpose of making quizzes and making them very interactive. Okay, so here it is. So you can use it for anything. Trivia games, there are multiple choice, there are time challenges, it has leaderboards, there's a team mode, and it will integrate into the LMS. Okay, the next image. What logo do you think this represents? The next question. This should be an easy one. And the answer is quizzes. So it also provides you with real-time feedback. And the other thing is that I didn't show you is there's a whole library full of pre-built quizzes that you can use. Again, I already talked to you about the fact that you have a choice of doing it in class or you can do it asynchronously. Okay, what is this tool?
That was the same
Well,
one, right?
that's not right. It reordered my slides.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's great. Well, just guess. It's one called, starts with a G, I'll tell you that. And our physical therapy department actually uses this specific tool. That was the image. And the name of the tool is Gym Kit. So it adds a further layer of strategy and engagement. Again, this, like I said, our physical therapy department uses this. The next slide, which is in the actual right order. What tool do you think this is? I tried to remove all the words that kind of gave it away, but that made it a little bit harder.
It's showing the next slide.
And tells me the leaderboard. This is overall for the whole. Tim is on it today. Oh, that was a good choice. Except that's the wrong answer. It was Slido. So Slido is what I showed you before, and it also will integrate directly into PowerPoint or Google Slides so that you don't have to get out of your presentation to do Slido, but because I'm using Gamma, which is not a choice, that's one reason I'm having to switch screens. So you can see that that's one way of doing it. And then of course, at the end, you also have the ability to see the participant names and view any report. So how do you get this and why do you do this and where are you gonna, what are we talking about? So for integration, thinking about using your objectives, start with something simple. Identify a course goal or use a course objective. And then as part of your gamification, ask the AI, which I'm going to show you, how to engage the learners based on that objective. And then implement a feedback loop so that the gamified elements, so that students can give you feedback. Which did you like? Did you not like it? Which do you prefer? And that. So you can see that you can look at your course and you can see where some of these things would be very applicable, and you could simply take very small things, and it is very, very crucial to start very small and adding something like A quizzes into a course and then seeing how it happens and then looking at how it integrates with Canvas. Is it seamless or is it clunky? And using those things to figure out kind of where you want to go. Also, if you notice at the bottom here, I have some generative AI prompts. Create a gamified quiz based on whatever, either a course objective or topic that awards points and badges. It's going to give you an example of that. Also, you can ask it to develop a story where students complete challenges related to course objectives, and you can ask the AI to build you a story based on course objectives. You can also ask it to generate a leaderboard based on students' participation in discussion forums. Again, you're not putting any proprietary information into the AI, and nor are you using real student names. You just need to have a key somewhere else so that you know that if you're asking it to do any kind of data analysis, that you have that key somewhere. So again, we've talked about point systems, we've talked about badges, and we've talked about leaderboards. Now I want to show you how to ask the AI to help you create a story. I'm going to use ChatGPT for this. You do not have to use ChatGPT. You can use Gemini. You can use Claude. You can use Perplexity. You can use Copilot. Any of those will work. I just happen to, I'm going to use this one. So please create a fun, engaging story that teaches students the following
I'm not sure if everybody can read. She's
I know
asking
that,
to
that
write a
I'll
story
read it to
about the
I can't type and read that. I
It's okay.
can't type
Reading
and write
music
that
on the
fast.
treble clef and how to find the value of notes from whole to eighth.
Also include dynamics. Okay, so what that says is how to read music on the treble clef, how to find the value of notes from whole to eighth, also include dynamics and tempo. So now it is writing me a story that's going to cover all of those things. I'll read you some of this. Once upon a time, in the vibrant land of Harmonia, there lived a spirited young girl named Melody who loved to sing and dance. Melody had a magical musical staff where notes would come to life, dancing and humming their unique tunes. One day she discovered that she could understand the language of these notes, and they had so much to teach her. Okay, you get my point, right? I could totally have like the most fun with that and building an entire whole module based on that story, including gamified elements and adding things in. I did not have to create that story. I just did something simple. I also can tell you that you can do it with the most mundane of topics. So went to a webinar where a gentleman was talking about using generative AI to craft stories. One of the things that he mentioned, which I loved, was that he was a carpentry teacher and that he really had problems getting students to understand the safety protocols as they were. So he got ChatGPT to write a story about a man who had 10 fingers and a man who only had 7. And he incorporated all of his elements into the story. And then he did a post and a post test and a pre-test and a post test. And he found that, one of the things that what the story did was everybody who read the story improved 100%. So again, storytelling is a great way to incorporate those things. And I know we have questions, so I'm going to pop back over here and make sure that you all get a copy of the slides. Just let me get to the next.
Okay, while she's doing that, question?
There we go.
Yeah, and especially whether it's live or asynchronous, and I think Paige will say the same thing. I tell my students that they need to pick a fake name and they register it with me at the beginning of class. So at the beginning of the semester, if I'm going to be doing this on a regular basis, I have them, like I teach US government, so I had them pick a president, but I said there's no duplication, so it's first come, first serve. Pick a president, and everybody picked a president, and that was the president's name that they put in every time they played the game, so everybody didn't know who was winning and who was losing.
Now, what I would suggest is if you are doing this, one of the easiest thing is most students are gamers. If their gamer tag is appropriate, you can ask them for their gamer tag.
Yeah.
So I am beloved Coach P. So that is my gamer tag. So if I were going to ask students to give them, or, whatever name that wants to be, if they already have a gamer tag, then they could just use that.
But some of their tags are not appropriate for
some of them are, but you can preface that,
Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay, I needed longer than 45 minutes.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Do you find leaderboard causes some people not to engage?
You'll have to repeat that.
Yeah,
Maybe they're not the greatest learners, and they're like, oh, well, I'm the seventh place. I can talk.
Paige, the question was, do you find that the leaderboard causes students to become unengaged because as they fall behind, they become uninterested in participating?
No,
basically?
because the thing is, as a gamer, you have to make sure that there's something everybody's going to be successful at. And that may mean that you have a very easy thing at the beginning of the semester and you progressively move, because then the students understand what is coming. So as long as you have built it in, and that leaderboard, again, you can keep it up or you can not show it. It's totally up to you. Leaderboards to me, it's an incentive, because I hate being on the bottom, but that's me. So it just depends on the student, but I would say if you start at the beginning and you give the students the chance to be successful. Now that if that means that they take an asynchronous quiz multiple times so they can get better scores, then that's fine. Then let them do that. That also teaches them that, you know, if they didn't get it,
Yeah,
they-
persistence.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Paige, what about older students that aren't necessarily digital natives, gamers? Do you find that there's a lack of motivation with them?
No, my 81-year-old mother plays Candy Crush. So, yes, there are things that you can incorporate for any age. And I don't, and again, the whole idea is it's an element that you can add in that will get students. And I will say this, adults are even more competitive than some of our younger students because they're back in school and they want to do really well. So if you're including those kind of things, and then the other piece of it is, as an adult, taking classes, you know, you might think, well, these younger students are going to do better than I am, but that's not necessarily the case. So no, I really think, I think the whole idea is that it's the engaging piece that gets students to do the thing that you're trying to get them to do. And using any kind of generative AI to help speed up the gamification process is highly suggested, and it makes your life a whole lot easier.
Also, you notice that the tools that we showed you today, they're not like having to be able to win a shooter game of, you know, Call of Duty or something. They're
No.
more brain games, and older students tend to engage more with those than with something that requires, you know, the kind of hand-eye coordination or whatever that they may be.
Well, and look at Wordle.
Yeah, Wordle, same thing.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Um,
I have used them as especially a way to take attendance. Like I have buried them on a content page and I can see who's actually gone through the content by who answered the question. But I've used it in a class teaching dual enrollment students to encourage them to be persistent, who are in low performing schools, and offered like every week the top 5 performers on the quiz get an extra point on their assignment for that week or something like that. It's not a lot, but it gives them an incentive to try a little bit harder.
Again, it's small rewards. I mean, you give people stickers and
Yeah.
things like that. I whatever. I'm all about winning stickers, you know. So I think you have to try things out to kind of test to see exactly what is going to work. But I think the idea of, like I said, using generative AI to help you create the things that's my whole thing. And if you had to do this from scratch, like that whole quizzes thing, that would have taken me days to do. I mean, if I had to do it, but it literally took me like 25 minutes to create.
Yeah,
a
we're
ball
going to
deck.
talk about AI in all of our sessions because we are big AI proponents when used in the right way. Did we have another question? Yeah.
So I think, do you see more of this as an engagement versus grading? Like, I don't think we can use this to actually award a grade.
You can use it for a formative assessment grade, probably. I wouldn't use it as a summative assessment grade for sure. But I think that it encourages students to try harder on formative assessments that don't count very much, and also to pay attention a little bit more.
So again, on the same question, that's the formative grading, and I've written to the campus people.
You can't pull directly from quizzes or Kahoot. I don't think, Paige, we still can't pull quizzes or Kahoot grades directly into Canvas gradebook, right? We couldn't last semester, but everything changes every few months, so.
Well, there is a way to do it. But you have to have the tool turned on in Canvas. It actually, quizzes actually integrates into Canvas.
Yeah.
But that's something that would have to be turned on. And I don't know if it's free, and I don't know if it would pass our security things. So I can't, there is a way.
So if you're interested, go to your instructional designer or design team and ask them to file a ticket and see if it's possible.
Yep. Yeah, Sherry, you can look that up.
You usually can, if it's not something that costs money, especially doesn't cost money to students, then typically a college can do it. If it's anything that costs money, it will have to be adopted by the VCCS. Yeah. Anything else? Thank you guys for coming today. And if you want to stick around, our next one is on feedback.
Yeah, Sherry, look that one up.
What is she telling you to look up?
Quizzes and Canvas integration.
Oh, yeah. We'll just send David a note. Yeah.
I think we have to go, I think it's,
I was like, is that a certain kind of-
hi, Tim.
I will put you on as a topic, and it will give
Yeah, I
you
just got that.
questions you may not like how, and maybe start with that. But you're good.
This is, yeah, it's really like, you're designing.
Yeah, you gotta, especially if there's a conversion, so that you can get.
And how does she work? She has a bigger version.
She does.
It
depends on which one, most of them are about.
Hmm.
How much? $20 a month.
Do you think the Infinity Project comes?
No, because, there's a statewide.
Oh.
So we would have to pay for it.
Similar.
But that doesn't mean that she has, and just to easily integrate it into the class. Every teacher creates on the person themselves as your problem. Yeah, we have asked this question multiple ways to multiple people, and the answer is always the same. Exactly, Booker says that data has to be kept stateside. It says that no personal information, you have to guarantee that personal information is never entered. We have to show how it's been used, that she used it as a computer. You just can't promise that, right? And so for security reasons. I'm sorry, did you?
No, I got your name.
Okay, good.
You were just a facilitator.
I am for this past one, I'm teaching them. And
Oh,
she's facilitating.
oh, yeah. I'm
Which
switching.
I-
And what's the next?
The next one is on feedback.
Yeah, I'm
It's on-
visiting you.
Okay, cool.
The last one.
And the last one is on music podcasting. Yeah. Yeah, either, I'm teaching that.
I visited your Florida one.
Yes.
It was so good.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, so,
Recording it?
we are, she recorded this one, even though we weren't asked to, because see, we're the only people in this exam, she in Colorado. So we are recording.
Yeah.